On this night, September 7th, 2025, the sky doesn't just shine. It trembles with a rare and otherworldly current that beckons you to pay attention. An energy that feels ancient, fated, and impossible to ignore. The skies are drenched in mystery as we step into the shadow of a total lunar eclipse in Pisces, a blood moon draped in copper-red light. This moon glows like 1,000 sunsets spilling across the heavens. But don't be fooled into thinking this is just spectacle. No, this is a night of soul work. When the eclipse falls in Pisces, endings come wrapped in destiny. These are not coincidences, not random cutoffs. They are karmic completions, soul contracts fulfilled. The kind of endings that dissolve quietly, yet forever, shift the shape of your life. And if you lean in instead of resisting, you will feel the tender beauty in the letting go. Stay with me, because what rises now may very well change the way you see yourself forever. And later, we'll go deeper into how this eclipse touches each zodiac sign. This is not a door slamming shut. This is a veil dissolving. You may not even realize what's leaving until weeks from now, when you whisper to yourself, September 7th was the turning point. Invisible threads snap and set you free. Fated endings unravel. And yet, within the unraveling lies promise. On November 18th, 2025, when the moon once again trines Jupiter in Cancer, what felt like loss will reveal itself as fertile ground. The fruit of release ripens quietly, waiting for its season to be picked. You may wake with heaviness, as if memories you never voiced are pressing against your chest. The body mirrors the moon's condition: exhaustion, foggy eyes, a sense of fluid swelling before retreat. Don't mistake this for weakness. Exhaustion today is alchemy. Your body isn't shutting down, it's transmuting. Every tear you shed, every sigh that escapes, is the soul's way of purging. So wrap yourself in softness. Sip water slowly. Dim the lights. This isn't retreat, it's alignment. By the time November arrives, you'll notice your body lighter, freer, because of what you released under this eclipse. Mentally, this eclipse is like wandering through a dreamscape. Thoughts blur, time stretches, logic slips through your fingers. And you may wonder, why can't I focus? Why does everything feel surreal? But here's the mystery. Clarity isn't meant to come from reason right now. It comes through intuition. The dreams you have tonight may feel more real than waking life. Don't dismiss them. They are whispers wrapped in mist, messages too tender for daylight. Write them down. What flickers in your sleep tonight may return as guidance in November, when the moon and Jupiter reconnect and reveal how your unconscious was already preparing the way. Ask yourself, what truth is whispering through my dreams? This eclipse doesn't just affect you, it moves through your connections. Truths long buried may pour out in conversation. Tears may surface unexpectedly. Some bonds may dissolve. But these endings aren't violent. They're dissolutions. Threads fading back into the sea, not glass shattering on the floor. It may sting, yes, but within the ache is grace. Ask yourself, which ties feel like anchors weighing me down, and which are sails lifting me toward the horizon? By November 18th, you'll understand why this space was needed, for Jupiter expands whatever love remains, making it richer and truer. Your energy today may feel hollow, but hollowness isn't absence, it's preparation. The universe never leaves a void unfilled. Picture a gardener pruning branches, not to kill the tree, but to coax stronger blooms. This is what the eclipse does for you, removing what chokes your growth. Instead of asking, Why do I feel so empty? Ask, what am I being prepared to hold? And remember, the answer arrives not just tonight, but on November 18th, 2025, when Jupiter blesses the emptiness you dared to allow. Today's eclipse is stitched with a secret blessing. The moon trines Jupiter in Cancer. It's like a hidden hand on your shoulder, reminding you that joy still waits beyond endings. And here's where the story stretches forward. This aspect returns on November 18th. What you release now becomes the soil. What you imagine now becomes the seed. By then, Jupiter will reveal what has grown. A new path, a renewed love, or a deeper faith in your own becoming. So let September 7th be your threshold. Don't fear the dissolving, embrace it. Shed what no longer fits. Step forward uncluttered. Because the soil you clear tonight will be the garden you harvest come November. Aries, this eclipse presses deep into your inner world, the realm of endings, forgiveness, and closure. You may feel invisible burdens rising, guilt, regrets, even secrets you've kept from yourself. It can feel heavy, like dragging unseen weights. But release is your liberation. Allow silence, allow rest, allow the walls you've built to soften. By November 18th, the weight that falls away today makes space for joy in creativity, romance, and self-expression. What begins as surrender will bloom into playful expansion. Taurus. This eclipse stirs your friendships, communities, and the visions you hold for the future. You may notice which circles truly support you and which connections feel like fading echoes. Some friendships may quietly dissolve, while others deepen as truths are spoken. It may sting, but the space that opens will be precious. By November, the doors you open now lead you toward deeper roots: home, family, and belonging. The pruning you do in your networks today allows a safe nest to flourish later. Gemini, this blood moon lights up your career and public path. An old chapter of recognition, reputation, or responsibility may be coming to a close. You might feel unsteady, foggy about what comes next. But endings in this house are never punishment, they're redirection. Trust that what is dissolving is not aligned with your long-term purpose. By November 18th, clarity comes. Your words, teachings, or writing take on new power. What feels like a loss in status today will reveal itself as the freedom to speak a more authentic truth later. For you, Cancer, this eclipse pulls on your beliefs, your spirituality, and the way you make sense of life. Something about your worldview is shifting. An old story, an inherited belief, a rigid certainty is dissolving. You may feel like you're floating in fog, unsure of what to hold on to. Let it happen. Let wonder, not control, guide you. By November, Jupiter shines directly on you. This is your moment of growth, expansion, and faith. What you release today clears the path for your spirit to grow stronger than you imagined. Leo, this eclipse falls in your house of intimacy, shared resources, and transformation. You may feel endings around financial ties, debts, or deep emotional entanglements. Vulnerability rises like a tide. You may not feel in control. But what's leaving you is a shadow you no longer need to carry. Release it with grace. By November 18th, this surrender empowers your ability to lead and shine in your community. The trust you build now, in yourself and others, translates into recognition and support later. Virgo, this eclipse meets you in the mirror of relationships. A partnership, romantic, professional, or personal, may reveal truths you've avoided. Some bonds will deepen, others may dissolve. It can feel overwhelming, But the eclipse is asking you to see clearly. Who walks beside you into your future, and who must fade into the past? By November, the partnerships that survive will feel more expansive and inspiring. And where endings occur, space will open for friendships and new communities to step in with grace. Libra. This eclipse touches your daily routines, your health, and the ways you serve others. You may notice fatigue, fog, or even physical symptoms that reveal what is no longer sustainable. Something about your day-to-day flow is reaching a climax. The eclipse asks, where are you draining yourself, and what needs to be released to restore balance? By November 18th, the work you begin today becomes fertile ground for career growth. What you let go of now allows new opportunities and recognition to bloom. Scorpio, the Pisces eclipse ignites your creativity, romance, and joy. Old patterns around love and self-expression may come to an end. This could feel bittersweet, as if something precious slips through your fingers. But remember, eclipses never take without giving. In dissolving old narratives of how you should love or create, they make space for a truer, freer version of you to emerge. By November, this release flows into deeper spiritual growth and healing. The art you create, the love you nurture, the joy you reclaim now, will ripple into wisdom later. Sagittarius. This eclipse pulls at your roots, your home, your family, your foundations. You may feel endings in your living situation, family dynamics, or emotional base. It's tender and raw, like a tide moving through the walls of your heart. Don't resist. This is where you shed old stories of belonging and safety. By November 18th, the release you make today supports powerful transformations in intimacy and trust. What you surrender at the root allows you to share more authentically later. Capricorn, this eclipse highlights your communication, your voice, and your mental patterns. Words may spill out, truths you've held back, confessions you've avoided. Some stories may end. Some ways of thinking may dissolve, leaving space for new clarity. It may feel strange to release the old frameworks of your mind, but necessary. By November, what you surrender now becomes fuel for a wider worldview. Your voice expands. The ideas that gestate today will become wisdom you share with the world later. Aquarius. This eclipse touches your finances, your resources, and your sense of worth. You may feel endings around money, possessions, or old self-worth stories. It's easy to feel anxious under these shifts, but remember, the eclipse is not punishing you. It's pruning. It clears what keeps you small, so that expansion can flow in. By November 18th, the space you clear now makes way for deeper partnerships and shared resources. The worth you claim today will magnetize abundance later. And Pisces, this is your eclipse. It falls directly on you, illuminating identity, self-image, and the way you show up in the world. You may feel raw, emotional, and exposed. Old versions of you are dissolving. It can feel like a shedding, like standing naked before the universe. But this is rebirth, not loss. You are being invited to step into the next, truer iteration of yourself. By November, the seeds you plant today blossom into love, joy, and creative expansion. The eclipse strips you down, but Jupiter will lift you up. Wherever this eclipse falls in your chart, know this: endings tonight are not final. They are thresholds. What you release now, you will meet again in November, transformed into blessings. Carry this mantra: I release with grace. What leaves me now makes space for what is meant. And when the moon trines Jupiter once more, you'll see the harvest of your courage glowing like a gift you didn't know you had already planted. If you're still with me, I want to thank you for listening. Your time and energy matter. I'm grateful you chose to spend these minutes with me. And if this resonated, subscribe and share it with your cosmic crew. Until next time, take care and keep moving with the stars.